Hello everyone, in this video I will tell you about anime, in a different world with a smartphone, pleasant viewing. The story begins in heaven, where God, in the form of an ordinary Japanese old man, apologizes for his mistake to the main character, 15-year-old schoolboy Mochizuki Toya. The fact is that the All-Creator accidentally launched lightning, which rushed straight to the hero and killed him. As an apology, the old man offers Toya the fulfillment of one wish and rebirth in a fantasy world. Surprisingly, the student calmly agrees, asking as a desire to keep his smartphone with him. The only ban on using a smartphone is that you can't get through to the hero's home world, but you can read the news from there. After the conversation, Toya suddenly wakes up in the promised fantasy world, where God tells him about updating his phone settings for a new map of the area. While exploring the area of the alternate dimension, the hero stumbles upon an eccentric blonde-haired man in a top hat, who immediately pounces on him. The resident begs to sell him clothes, calling them extraordinary and promising to pay generously for them. Toya is surprised by such agility, but nevertheless agrees. In gratitude, the man takes the hero in his own carriage to the store with a sign in an unfamiliar language. Already on the spot, he helps Toya with the choice of new clothes. In parting, the hero asks the man about the nearest tavern and receives an answer, the Silver Moon Tavern. Walking in the direction of the tavern with the help of a map in the phone, the hero comes across two aggressive guys in the alley, persistently begging for pretty twin girls to sell them some kind of crystal horn for 1 silver coin. Caught in a corner, the young ladies categorically refuse to sell them the horn, justifying their decision by dissatisfaction with the price offered. Toya intervenes in the overheard conflict and asks the twins if 1 gold coin for this item will be enough. After receiving a positive answer, he deliberately breaks the crystal horn, which greatly angers the hooligans. They immediately attack him, but suddenly it turns out that God has endowed the hero with enhanced martial arts. Having instantly dealt with the hooligans, Toya offers the girls the promised gold coin. Both at first refuse, saying that the horn is already broken, but in the end they agree and decide to get acquainted. The hero learns that the girls' names are Lince and El Siluasca, and they were also heading to the Silver Moon Inn. Having rallied with the newly minted allies, Toya decides to go to the inn with them. In the tavern itself, the characters are met by a playful red-haired girl at the counter, Mika, who has long been familiar with the twins who have arrived. Sitting at the table with a new company, the hero learns that Linza and Els met with those men in the alley on an advertisement for the purchase of a crystal horn. The twins set out to register with the guild the very next day. Hearing this, the hero clarifies whether he can join them and again receives a positive answer. Arriving at the guild the next day, the newly formed trio study job advertisements there. For the first time, Toya is ashamed to admit that he cannot read the language of this world. Linza translates one of the ads to him and explains that it is about the massacre of 5 monstrous beasts in the eastern forest for 18 copper coins as a reward. The arriving group unanimously agrees to take on this matter, after which the hero acquires a guild card and a cold-bladed weapon, the Ishan sword. Once they reach the forest, the allies easily defeat the 6 one-horned wolves with the help of Elsa's sword, Elsa's fists, and Linza's fire magic. Returning then to the guild, they give 5 horns to the female manager. In gratitude for the work done, she marks their guild cards with a magical seal and pays the specified 18 copper coins. At the same table, they discuss their victory. At the same time, Toya asks for a favor to teach him reading, writing, and magic. In response to a request, Elsa notices that in their world, only people with a certain predisposition to it can learn magic. In confirmation of her words, Linza wants to demonstrate his abilities. She pulls out several multicolored crystals from a small bag, calling them charm stones, and explains that they only supplement, accumulate and release magical energy, but do not create. After saying the mantra, "Come water," Linza fills his cup with water, which appeared with the help of a blue stone. Elsa tries the same trick but fails. She explains this by saying that she does not possess the necessary magic. Trying to understand his own predisposition to magic, the hero tries all the charms and discovers that all the crystals specifically work for him: fire, water, earth, wind, light, and darkness. The sisters are notably shocked by his ability to control the 6 elements and suggest that in this case he check the last stone of Zero Mage without calling, allowing him to use any spell. Mika intervenes in their conversation. She introduces Aya, a girl who works at a local cafe, to those present. The next day, Toya, Elsa and Linza go on a new mission to deliver a letter to the royal capital. They stumble upon a samurai girl named Yae Kokono trying to fight off some thugs. After assisting her in battle, the trio invite her to join their squad. The girl accepts the offer and joins the team on their journey. On their way to the royal capital to deliver a letter, the characters are ambushed by the lizards, summoned by a dark magician intent on attacking the royal carriage. After defeating the lizards in the new company, Toya enters the royal carriage, where he casts a null healing spell, saving a butler named Liam from death. Lady Sushi, Sue, Ernia Ortlind, who was also in the carriage, thanks Toy for saving Liam. With such an enlarged team, they reach the royal capital, where Sue brings Toy to her father, Duke Alfred Ortlind. The Duke thanks Toy for rescuing his daughter, and then asks for help by casting a powerful healing spell on Duchess Ellen Ortlind, Sue's mother, and his blind wife. Tuya agrees and casts a null healing spell on the Duchess, curing her of her blindness. The joyful Duke gives Toy 40 platinum coins for saving his family, and also rewards the team with 4 royal medals, denoting the protection of the Duke. After completing another task, Tuya walks around the royal capital and discovers demi-human races there. In the crowd, he meets a fox girl named Arma, who has lost her older sister Olga. After promptly solving her problem, Tuya and the girls go shopping, where the hero buys himself a wizard's coat that protects wizards from the type of magic they can use. The next day, the allies are tasked with destroying the evil spirit Dullahan near the ruins of the old capital. After the Dullahan was defeated, Tuya tries a null location spell and finds an artifact of magical value hidden in a secret dungeon. Upon reaching it, the team learns that the item is a power source for an artificial glass beast that can repair any damage dealt to it. Despite this invulnerability, the group manages to defeat the beast after Tuya extracts the power source. Everyone then returns to the royal capital, where they tell the Duke what really happened. After listening to them, the Duke expresses his suspicion that the beast may have been the reason the old capital was abandoned and asks Toy to help him investigate the next day. Later that day, the Duke contacted Tuya and informed him that his brother, the king, had been poisoned. On the way to the king's state, the Duke becomes worried and tells Toya that the king's eldest daughter, Princess Yamina Ernia of Belfast, can inherit the throne in the event of his death. Upon arriving at the location, Tuya casts a null healing spell, curing the king's poisoned body. Seeing this, Princess Yamina quickly begins to fall in love with the hero. After asking Balsu to drink from the royal glass, he determines that he only poisoned the wine in the royal glass. After Olga's acquittal and Balsa's arrest, the king allows Yamina to enter into a 2-year engagement with Tuya. She teaches Toy to call magic himself, which causes him to summon a powerful tiger spirit called the White Monarch, with whom he makes a pact for help. A day later, Tuya travels to an abandoned castle to study the late wizard's research on slime beasts. Already at the castle, the group encounter numerous slugs and discover that the wizard has created a slime capable of transforming into models of beautiful girls. After saving them from the slugs, the girls decide to burn the castle to the ground, destroying the magician's research. Later, Tuya helps Ye get the lost girl back to her mother by activating the null search spell on the phone. In turn, Ye herself asks Tuya to find her older brother. After her adventures, Tuya helps Linza learn the water bomb spell. At that moment, Yamina receives a letter from the royal capital, in which it is written about the knighting of Toy in gratitude for finding the culprit of poisoning the king. Tuya humbly declines the knighting offer, whereupon the king decides to allow him and Yamina to become the owners of a large mansion. To the surprise of Elsa, Linza, and Ye, Tuya wants them all to live there as well. He explains his desire by seeing them as a family, implying that he wants to marry them. Later, towards nightfall, a black dragon attacks the nearby town, which the team manages to defeat. After the monster's defeat, a red dragon appears and apologizes to the group for not being able to stop the black dragon in time. In the morning, Toy's squad arrives in the Mizmed kingdom and visits the king. During the audience, the king asks Toy to challenge him to a duel, during which he reveals his own null magic, haste. That same night, Tuya meets a very ancient fairy named Lin, who wanted to teach the hero the program of spell, which gives any object some magical properties. After Tuya demonstrates his own skill in using this spell, an impressed Lin asks to teach her this level of magic, but he refuses. The next day, Tuya, accompanied by Linza and Yamina, buys some materials to create a sword pistol, using the program to give it automatic reloading and blade extension functions. Both girls ask to create firearms for them, which he does. On the way back, Tuya suddenly feels unsettled about being followed and briefly separates from Linza and Yamina to find and confront their pursuers. The spies turn out to be envoys from the king to monitor and protect Yamina. They confess that they also secretly helped in that battle against the Black Dragon. At their request, Tuya promises to keep it a secret from the others. After returning from the Mizmed kingdom, Toya decides to use magic to create a bicycle. The girls and Duke Alfred immediately show interest in the resulting transport. As a result, Toya creates a bicycle for everyone. Some time later, the hero goes to town to buy some supplies and sees a girl being abused for stealing. After driving off the attackers, the guy offers the girl to work as a maid in his mansion, to which she agrees, promising that she will no longer steal. Ye then travels to her homeland with Toya and the others. In Yixing, the allies find Ye's house, where they learn that her father and brother are fighting in the war. With the help of Toya's skills, they quickly find both and help them defeat the undead soldiers. After Toya uses the gate to travel to an island near the ancient ruins, he invites his friends to swim in the sea, where he attempts to dive to the ancient ruins underwater. The artifact proves to be too deep to avoid drowning, so Ye offers to summon the Black Emperor, which consists of a snake and a turtle. The Black Emperor helps the hero get to the ancient ruins, where they are soon met by a maid in the Garden of Babylon. After meeting Francesca, an artificial servant at the Garden of Babylon, Toya is appointed as the new owner of the garden. Later, he uses the gate to bring the girls left on the surface to this place. At the sight of Francesca, the allies are openly jealous of Toya, but Yamina distracts them by taking them for a walk. Some time later, Francesca kisses Toy, much to the shock of the girls. The next morning, Ye and Els also become Toya's brides. He tells all his brides that he is not ready to marry any of them, because he doubts his own ability to make everyone happy. The girls unwittingly agree while Lin talks to Francesca and learns about Dr. Babylon's prophecy about the hero's 9 wives. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, like and press the bell so as not to miss new videos. AniDay was with you. Bye everyone.